Star Wars only, I don't know what the fuck your problem is.
Some interesting news has just come out, and I don't even know if I want to call it news because it's not official, but it comes from some more or less pretty credible people. I trust them, at least. And the news is that Ahsoka Tano is going to be in The Mandalorian Season 2, which I'm sure we all remember is a live-action show, so that means we're getting a live-action Ahsoka. And who is playing Ahsoka? Well, it's no other than Rosario Dawson, and I would go through everything she's been in, but I'm gonna be honest, she's got a long list of appearances and a lot of very niche kind of communities and fandoms, I guess, if you will. I don't know what to call it, but she's had an interesting career. She's been around the block a lot as an actress. In the past, I believe there was fans on Twitter who asked if she would like to play a live-action version of Ahsoka, and she said yes. Now, am I against this decision to have Rosario play Ahsoka? No, not at all. I'm 110% confident she could pull off the character quite nicely. The reason I'm not as excited as everyone else is because, for me, I don't really want to see a live-action Ahsoka. And it's not because I don't like the character. I thought the character had a very good arc in the Clone Wars. She was brought back in Rebels, and that really didn't pique my interest too much with her even coming back. It was just kind of a thing that happened, I guess. But other than that, I'm not really interested in the character's story beyond what happens with her, Sabine, and Ezra after Rebels. This looks like it might continue it in some way, shape, or fashion since the Empire has fallen. Don't know how that's going to work out. For me, I just don't want to continue to see her story be constantly sidelined in these shows about other people. If we're going to finish her story, give me one, even if it's just one season, just give me one season of her, Sabine, and Ezra and what happens with them. I don't need her to be a one-off episode in Mandalorian Season 2. And if I'm gonna be honest, I'm nervous to see her in live action because even if they pull off the look right, there's a lot of chances that this isn't going to live up to fan expectations. There's a lot of chances that this is not going to look that great. And I'm nervous that they're doing this as a fan service kind of thing, realizing that a lot of people love Ahsoka, and they're bringing her back for the Clone Wars Season 7, they brought her back for Rebels, and they've seen all the demand for Ahsoka, they're like, well, let's bring her back in Mandalorian Season 2. I don't know if that's the route I truly want to go. And the reason being is that I think The Mandalorian has done really well because it is about new characters and new stories in the Star Wars universe. And I feel like it's a very simple story to follow, and you don't need to know much about the Star Wars universe. When Ahsoka gets brought in, there's so much backstory to her character and how she got to where she was. I mean, she's literally been around since the prequels, and now she's back in The Mandalorian Season 2, but still not as like a main character, probably just as a one-off and one-done thing. I'd rather just finish her story. I'm tired of the breadcrumb trails that we're getting with her being sidelined in the Clone Wars, and more so in Rebels, and now even more so probably in Season 2 of The Mandalorian. I really just want to see what happens to her character. I'm already annoyed with the fact that she lives beyond the original trilogy, because it's like, well, dang. You didn't help Luke at all with the Jedi stuff, and I mean, geez, what have you really been doing? You left before the original trilogy to go find Ezra. Have you found him? You're still alive. I mean, what have you really been doing? I just feel like there's going to be a lot of questions that are going to be brought up when she's introduced, both for fans who don't know who she is and for fans who do know who she is. I just feel like it's going to complicate the story that isn't too complicated. I want to keep kind of the simplicity to it. And I really didn't like the Dave Filoni episode of The Mandalorian because I felt like it was a fan service one. I felt like it was one of those, you like this because you remember kind of things. And I'm scared they're doing that with Ahsoka now, where they realize a lot of fans like Ahsoka and they say, okay, well, since you remember her, she's gonna be in this and you're gonna love it because you remember. Remember? You remember Ahsoka? Well, I remember too, that's why she's here. And I just feel like that's kind of cheap in storytelling. And maybe they pull it off well. Maybe I'm being too skeptical on it. Maybe I'm being too much of an ass about the fact that I just don't really want to see her in a live action because I feel like she would look weird. I feel like it won't be pulled off to our expectations, and I think it's just going to be kind of pointless in hindsight. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they do great with it. Jon Favreau has yet to disappoint me with the Star Wars universe. I've liked The Mandalorian Season 1. I think it's a great show, and I think it's the future of Star Wars right now. But when I hear things like this, which isn't 110% confirmed, it still makes me a little cautious about things, where I look at it and say, maybe this isn't the route we should be taking. Maybe this is the easy way on telling the story. Why don't we choose a different path? Maybe I'm skeptical. Maybe I'm being overly critical at the moment about it. But that's just my 2 cents. Tell me your thoughts about the rumor that Ahsoka is coming back for Season 2 in The Mandalorian. This will be her live-action debut, and is rumored to be played by Rosario Dawson. Tell me your thoughts below. I'm Star Wars Only. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you all next time, and may the Force be with you, always.